Okay.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael with One Eyed Fat Man Studios. We're back with Zombie Godzilla. We finally got the video that we took, I think it was last Saturday. We finally got it uploaded after 2 days. It took 2 days to upload that, so sorry about the delay. We are going to be showing you more about this particular statue and what I'm doing with this sculpture. As you know, I've done a large Godzilla before, as you can see over here. And what I did on this one, you need to go to the back room. This one is about 4 foot. This one from nose to tail is 6 foot. So right now he's got about 15 pounds of clay on him. So he's not light. But this Godzilla's torso is a cardboard box duct taped on to the wire. So thinking that if it's got 15 pounds of clay on it already and the entire gut is hollowed, it's a big sculpture. What I'm doing right now is I showed you last week how I did the flesh on the ribs. I haven't done any more on it, but I will. And I've finished putting the hand on and actually attaching it. You can come back here if you want to show them that we've got the palm of the hand. I haven't put any of the lines or anything on it, but we've got the palm of the hand. We've got the nails. The nails are Kato polyclay. They're baked, and this is how I make them. Is I bake them with a small root, and then what I do is when I place it on, then I pull the clay over it a little bit to make it a more seamless transition between the nail and the finger. So the arm's on. It's kind of, this Godzilla's, whatever killed it was really big, okay? And whatever killed him, most of the damage was done on this side. So that's the mindset going into it. Exactly what was it? But if you come in here, you can see that I've done the shoulder bone, and what I've done is I've dislocated the shoulder on this particular, and what I'm doing is I'm coming in and putting the damage to the flesh. It's quite possible that I may pull out around from it again and turn some of this into muscle. I just don't know yet, but what I'm doing right now is I'm doing this damaged flesh on the surface with this tool. And this was a flat tool, and what I did is I changed the shape of it. It was kind of like this, and I changed it to this. And what it is it's not connected right in here. It's actually got a break. So when I do this, I kind of get that done. And then I can come back in and take this and just kind of remove that on either side of it if I want to. So that being, of course, that's not what we're doing up here, so that's just a demonstration. So I love monster clay, and you can go back in and you can smooth it with tools, you can smooth it with rakes, you can smooth it with mineral spirits. It's just, I love working with it because mainly it's easier on the hands. So as I use these different tools and kind of damage the flesh some more to give the appearance of the flesh rotting away, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I keep the tub under it to catch it. But we're going to go down here, and I'm going to show you on this scar here what I did. So we're going to take some clay. Okay, we're going to go over here to the extruder, and we're going to, before I do anything, clean it a little bit because it's a little nasty from where the boys have run brown clay. But you know, just take a little bit of clay, and the air conditioning is on in here on full tilt. So when you're taking little pieces of clay out and have a vent here and a vent over here, it's going to hit it fairly quickly. So it's going to kind of Monster clay is kind of elastic, so it can give you all these neat little things. But once it starts to harden, you lose that, and you kind of get into an area where you have to make it with tools, make the damage with tools. So let's just do this real quick. And as you can see, that came out very, it's very thin. And then what I want to do is I want to take some of them and just pull and just tear them apart and let them lay. Now, tear them apart, let them lay. And we do this a lot. Okay, different ways. Straight on. You try to get some of those interesting edges around it. And of course, I don't need all this many. You can see what the back side of the roller does. It kind of gives you that scale that you see on Godzilla's legs or on his arms. And no, that's not how I did that Godzilla. Unfortunately, I did that one scale at a time, kind of like an idiot, instead of doing it the way I do now. Okay, so I need this tool, and we're going to take this. So I'm going to cut along this edge. I'm going to bring it in so they can see it. So I'll take that edge. Okay, and I'm going to kind of look at it. Where do I want it? So let me place this here. Okay. Now you can do this with just a tool, okay? You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I just find that it looks a little better in my opinion, and opinions are subject to, individual likes and dislikes. So by no means am I telling you this is the only way to do it. This is just the way I do it. And then I kind of go in and smooth it in with this. Now I could get larger areas by just taking this and see how we make that blend right in there. Okay, now it doesn't look like a bad wound, okay, but we go in from this side, kind of push the clay up in there. And you're going to see me make a lot of dimensional issue. I don't have depth perception, okay? So sometimes I will completely miss an area that I'm going into and I have to go back into it. So just forgive me for that in advance. So now we're going to take this one. This has got a real neat edge to it. So we want to just kind of cut that off. It's a really nice looking edge. Okay. And then we can kind of put it right here. Okay, so now it's covering the bottom part of it. So I'll take one of these tools and go in here and take a little bit more. Somebody was at the door there for a minute. A little bit more clay out with that tool, and then take a look at it, how we're going to do it. So we're going to attach it right here and over. We'll use the larger tool this time, like I showed you. Just kind of smooth it in, and there we go. Now, that can be smoothed later. If you want to come over here and look at it from this angle, you have one side where you can actually kind of lift up on it. See? Oops. There we go. And there you go. Okay, and then you can take any bladed tool and you can kind of mess with that frayed edge. Maybe fray it some more. And bring it on down. However you want to do it. And then from there, oh, that's the wrong one. We kind of pick at it, you know, and give it some designs. Because see, after we do this, at some point, I've got to go back in on this arm, and I have to put the scales on. So there's a lot to it from there. So if you're having trouble and you're taking off too much of that edge, put a tool underneath of it, you know, to kind of hold it out there, and it'll give you some more of the stuff that you're looking for in this particular one. And you know, as the damage goes up to the upper arm, and then you just, you know, you come in with a paintbrush or any kind of soft bristled brush, and you've got that one side. And then you say, okay, on the other side we've got this other wound, so we got to be real careful how we do it so as not to cover the other one. So here is where the fun comes in, is I have to make a very thin piece and hopefully not break it like I almost did right there, and I did. So we kind of just pull it up. Try it again, pull it up. Okay, and let's come up here. And just kind of place it on. Smooth it in. See? Okay, that. And we need another piece, so let's see here. Let's go with one that's not too bad as far as... Okay, so we're going to cut this off, and we're going to run it from here down to the bottom. Okay, so we smooth that on there. And be careful, you don't want to change the shape of the one behind it too much. So take small strokes and smooth that in. Sorry about that. That was a bit of nerve pain happening. Oh. And then we kind of have a better tool for this. Actually, it's right here. So I'll put it down if you want to come to the other side, hon, so I can show them what I'm trying to do here. So I put that in. Now, and there we go. Alright, and we need this tool here. Kind of pick that out some. You see how that comes down. So we're probably going to have to use this one because it's been a little difficult. So there we go. And then we just, you know, a little bit of damage here and a little bit of damage there. You want to make it look like this hasn't had a... It can't heal, of course, because he's undead, but you also want it to look like, hey, not died, it was been something that he could have survived had we not had this big old massive wound down here. Okay, and then when you're done, just take your regular soft bristle brush, get in there and remove all those little pills of clay. I have no idea who that is, so they can call back. see, you've got maybe there was an infection in here that continued to bother Godzilla as he went. So there you go. And that's kind of how, one way that we can do these wounds in Godzilla's arm. So it's a combination of a bunch of different techniques, but the ones that I'm limited to some styles because of the pain that I'm suffering on a daily basis. So, but as we continue on showing you how I work on this, you will see the head. You know, I've got to put the eyes in. There's a lot more work that I need to do on the head here. The head's gonna actually go in from this angle. These might wind up being something to do with what killed him. I thought about having like an anchor stuck in one of his dorsal spines, like we saw that in Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know. So it's still a work in progress, and we're still moving forward with it, but that's where we're at. And if you want to see more, of course, you know, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, of course here on YouTube, you know, subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. There's some levels there on Patreon for sculpting lessons and Q&As and stuff like that. My wife takes care of all that stuff. I have no clue half the time. She just says, this is what we're doing. And I'm like, okay, I'm the sculptor. You take care of the rest of it. But if you have any questions, if there's something you'd like to see me sculpt, just let me know. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.